gonna lie, my 2-year-old is in the room today for the podcast, and I had to bribe her over here with nerd clusters and juice. So if this sugar rush hits, sorry. I did what I needed to do. Let's get this podcast started. Welcome back to Not Gonna Lie, a Wave original brought to you by YouTube TV. I'm your host, Kylie Kelce. I'm still thinking about movie theater pickles because, yeah. Can you imagine pickles and popcorn? Anyway, proud member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee and not even being self-deprecating. For real, flat as a board. And shockingly, also, the newest inductee of the Philadelphia Fat Ass Association. To be clear, that's PHAT. Also, Emma's saying, please don't get mad at me. I'm quoting you. Yeah, I do have a fat ass. This is not, it's mine. It's attached to me. I know about it. That's right. Based on all the comments specifically about my ass on the other podcast curling clip, it looks like you guys are just now finding this out. Here's the behind the scenes clip. First of all, I'm fully squatted down. Okay. Exposed. Also, why does it zoom in directly on my ass? I looked at my husband while this clip was playing because I thought to myself, this man is fighting for his life. Jason was trying his very hardest to not say something about my butt. He succeeded. But yeah, guys, I'm wearing gray pants. They're snug as a bug in a rug. I don't know what to tell you. The comments on this were interesting. Greensburg 74 said, Kylie wins the glutes competition by a mile. You're darn tootin', I do. My husband has a chicken ass. I tell him all the time. Kenna Confetti said, cameraman doing the Lord's work. I mean, it's hard when it's the size of the earth, okay? They are my shoes. Aren't they cool? They're kind of like rainbow shoes. You can look in the other boxes and see if there's rainbow shoes. Go ahead. Get in there, girl. I'm not going to put them on right now because I'm in the middle of doing something, but I appreciate you laying them out for me. Can you take the other ones out and see if there's anything in there? Yep, we're going to hear rustling. Tiff, that's okay. At AGL with Kylie, girl, that booty should be illegal. This is so ridiculous. Here's what I have to say about me being caked up, okay? I was a field hockey player, period. Seriously, though, for those of you who have not watched field hockey or thank you so much, or thought too much about field hockey, we play an entire game, 60 minutes of gameplay. That would be great. Thanks so much. We play, this is going to be absolutely feral. We play 60 minutes of a game in a completely squatted position. I'd say it's probably 50-50. 50% anatomy, 50% the sport I played since I was in second grade, as was not leaving the house. So this is a yes all around for me. I'm so into this. Queen Leslie, if you just want to send me more clips of Eloise, that would be so cool. Thanks. Asking for a friend. That's it for Doom Scroll of the Week, brought to you by Peloton. Coming up, I'm going to be joined by WNBA Rookie of the Year herself, Paige Beckers. In the meantime, some messages from me. This episode is sponsored by YouTube TV. If you're a mom, you know we're basically professional multitaskers. At any given moment, I'm usually feeding at least one of my tiny humans, with or without my body, letting the dog outside, and talking on the phone with Jason about dinner, or with Queen.
Kylie Kelce always knew that being part of the Kelce family meant living in the limelight. But nothing could prepare her for the whirlwind that swept through when Taylor Swift entered the picture. From a very first time Travis introduced Taylor at a family barbecue, Kylie could sense the electricity. The world watched their romance unfold in real time, with every glance, every touch, every secret smile analyzed and adored by millions. But behind the dazzling headlines and Instagram stories, there was an undercurrent of tension, something even Kylie couldn't put her finger on. It wasn't jealousy. It was more like an uneasy anticipation, as if the universe was holding its breath. Taylor and Travis were the couple everyone rooted for, the kind of love story that seemed destined for fairy tales. Their engagement announcement had nearly broken the internet. Kylie remembered the night vividly. Champagne, laughter, and the glint of Travis's eyes as he looked at Taylor, who seemed to float in a cloud of happiness. Planning the wedding became a family affair, with Kylie helping Taylor pick out floral arrangements and tasting cakes. The media frenzy was relentless, but Taylor handled it with her signature grace. She joked about writing a love song for the ceremony, and the family delighted in her down-to-earth humor. But as the date drew closer, the cracks began to show. Kylie noticed Taylor withdrawing, her phone buzzing late into the night with urgent calls. Travis became quieter, more introspective, throwing himself into his training with an intensity Kylie hadn't seen before. Rumors swirled, creative differences, jealousy, even the pressures of public scrutiny. Still, Kylie clung to hope that, like every great love story, theirs would conquer all. That hope shattered on a cold Friday morning when Kylie received a text from Taylor asking to meet at a quiet cafe, away from the cameras and the noise. Taylor arrived hidden beneath a baseball cap and sunglasses, but even in disguise, her aura was unmistakable. She ordered coffee but barely touched it, her fingers tracing patterns on the cup. Kylie, sensing the gravity of the moment, waited in silence. Finally, Taylor looked up, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears, and whispered words that would echo in Kylie's mind for days. The wedding's off. The world may have seen Taylor as fearless and unbreakable, but in that moment, she was heartbreakingly human. She explained that fame had magnified every insecurity, that she and Travis, despite their love, had grown into different people. They tried to bridge the gap, but the pressures only widened it. Taylor's voice quivered as she confessed her fear of losing herself in the spectacle, of letting the world dictate the terms of her happiness. She cherished Travis, but she needed to reclaim her own narrative before it was too late. Kylie listened, torn between empathy and disbelief. How could something so beautiful unravel so quickly? She thought of Travis, who had built castles in the sky with Taylor, now left standing in the ruins. Kylie realized that love, even the brightest, can flicker in the storm of expectation. News of the canceled wedding erupted like wildfire. Social media buzzed with speculation. Fans mourned what could have been, and tabloids spun wild tales. But behind the noise, Kylie saw the quiet strength in both Taylor and Travis. They retreated from the spotlight, choosing reflection over retaliation. Kylie admired their courage, the way they refused to let the world define their story. In the aftermath, the Kelce family drew closer. Dinners were quieter, laughter tinged with sadness, but there was also a newfound resilience. Kylie found herself inspired by Taylor's honesty, her refusal to settle for a love that no longer fit. She watched Travis channel his heartache into his game, emerging stronger, more focused. And as for Taylor, she disappeared into her music, her lyrics raw and honest, healing not just herself but millions who heard their own stories in her songs. Kylie learned that sometimes the most captivating tales are not the ones that end with happily ever after, but those that show the courage it takes to walk away. The canceled wedding became more than a headline. It was a lesson in authenticity, a reminder that love is not always about holding on, but knowing when to let go. As the months passed, rumors of reconciliation surfaced, but Kylie knew better than to believe in fairy tales. She understood now that real life was messier, richer, and infinitely more interesting than any storybook ending. In the quiet moments, she found herself rooting not just for Travis and Taylor, but for everyone brave enough to choose their own happiness, no matter the cost. The world kept spinning. New romances bloomed, old wounds healed, and through it all, Kylie held on to hope that love, in all its forms, remained the greatest story ever told.